Hi everybody, welcome to this Expert Division Winter Major weekend round playthrough here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. All 18 holes in one video for you. Please give me a thumb up and make sure you're subscribed as well. It would be massively appreciated and it's completely free. We have timestamps in the video description down below if you want to skip backwards and forwards between the holes. Good luck everybody, we've got loads of drops here and some suggestions of tweaks and alternatives based on my results here. Always best to test with a token or two, put some personal tweaks in yourself if you can to make yourself get an even better score. Let's get started with hole number 1. Very difficult wind angle here, going to show you an example with mid to high wind with a Kingmaker, 5.5 top spin, 3 left spin. It's no movement target. If you've got APOC 4, definitely you will need a power 4 and probably a wind 4 ball. Even with APOC 5, it's considerable overpower here. So if you've got a high powered ball or a more wind resistant ball, go with that. Max plus 20, here it takes me into 3 rings of overpower. I'm adding some overpower on just to make sure I land this one on the fairway. You can see here it's looking around 4.5, maybe even 5 rings of OP. 0.8 ball curl to the left. Hit perfect, of course. Very difficult with a Kingmaker. Like I said, power 4, wind 4 will make this easier, even with that extra overpower, only just making it on to that pad. So you could go with another half a ring if you wanted, but the curl takes us nicely onto the green for your eagle putt. On this par 3, going to play with the Grizzly and the Kingmaker. We're going with 3.5 backspin and 3 right spin, and we want to set up here at the top of +1. And we want the white ring touching the edge of the wooden edgings where it meets the water, not the fairway. So make sure you've got this one set up correctly. It's the kind of outer wooden edge just before it drops into the water with your white ring. Top of +1, Grizzly 9 is top of +4, Grizzly 8. And the adjustment here is max +10, power 3 settings. Keeping the wind below 8 miles per hour, of course, just to increase our drop rate. And we're going to make our adjustments. The good thing about keeping the wind below 8 is you're not going to adjust off the edge of that border down into the water, which would mess up your shot slightly. You wouldn't get the hole in one unless you're going to put some tweaks in. Perfect ball away, dropping it right at the pin. On this par 5, we're going to set up with the rock. And we're going to start finding our position with the red ring touching the rough line on the right hand side of the red ring at +6 with the rock level 8. That would be +5 with the rock level 9. Then we switch to our APOC bag and we go with 5.8 top spin, 3 left spin, and adjust max +5. So find your position with the rock, then you're going to make your club switch to the APOC and also Grizzly bag. Max +5. Now, because we're not at max distance of club, it gives us a slightly slower needle. You can see there, +5 with APOC 5 and above. I then switch to a Kingmaker X just to make this needle even slower. You don't have to do that, but it does help your accuracy if you've got a 4-3-3 ball, or indeed a 5-3-3 ball that you can switch to. It would make it even easier. Full overpower left curl as shown, and finds the fairway very nicely here. Drive distance is going to be around 365. Second shot, make a white ring fringe checks. That's WFC on the notepad. Top of the white ring touching the beginning of the fringe. Then we add spin. You can see here it's going to be around 3.8 backspin and 1 left spin. And here I'm looking at the position of the third bounce. It's a weird setup, but you can see the third bounce just on the edge, the left edge of the cup. +6 with Grizzly 9 would be +9 with Grizzly 8. So that's another good thing about using a higher power ball, is you protect your white fringe check reference, even if you're a bit short on your drive with a lower level Grizzly. 75% slider, 20% elevation. Be careful on this one, you have to pull into the bunker, but it's still going to be okay. 2 pulls over the bullseye. Make sure you do the same, and then we're taking our shot. Just have a look at how this one comes in, see if we need to tweak anything here. Bounces safely on the fairway, just sneaking this in on the right, so I would offset that third bounce a couple of clicks more to the left. On this par 3, you don't have to play with this ball, but it's useful to get the spins accurate. We are going with 4 top spin and 1 bar side spin to the left. You can of course play with a kingmaker, or you can add your spins with a navigator and then make a ball swap. Yellow ring touching the rough line, and then you want the ball guide pointing here. Going to give you a zoom in on this one, but it will be pointing at the pin, stopping a little bit short once you've added your spin, subject to any wind angle tweaks of course, and clicks of curl you may need to correct any deviation in wind angle that you may get from time to time. The adjustment is mid -5, power 3 settings. We're using sniper 10 numbers throughout all of these shots here. You will need to do the same even if you're using sniper level 9. So mid -5, power 3, centre the ball and hit perfect. Catches the rough very, very nicely here, and falls for the hole in 1. On this par 5, we're going to play with the quarterback to find position. Red ring touching the rough on the right at the top of +4. Then we are adding spin here, 2.5 top spin, 3 bars right spin. And then we're going to adjust mid +5, power 2 settings. Mid +5, power 2. Second shot is going to be made with our sniper. So making our adjustment, we're not anywhere near max distance of club, so I don't need to do a club swap at all on this one. Then we're going to play with some curl to the right. 1 ball of right curl, and you'll see here, just use that point where the circle drops as your reference. Hitting perfect here, doesn't bounce anywhere near the rough, which is nice, but we get a good roll out around 305 yards. Second shot, making a bunker check just before the bullseye flicks into the bunker, so +6 in line with the pin would be +8 with sniper 9. And then we are going to find our position here. And you can see I've got the ball guide just going through the hole. Just going to make a small adjustment here. You can see just through the hole. It's a no spin shot. The adjustment I'm giving you on the notepad is not what I play in the video. It is a suggested tweak. So for this bunker check of +6, I would suggest you play 58% slider, 10% elevation. Once again, using sniper 10 numbers. So it's a no spin shot. I like the aim, but like I said, the adjustment here, the tweaked adjustment on the notepad and in the commentary should get you in here for the albatross. That is based on the miss in the video, just missing on the left. Very, very nasty wind angle. We're not going to be sending this one. We're going to lay up instead. Find your position with the quarterback. White ring touching the rough on the left at the top of +10 with the quarterback 9 and 10. Then I'm adding my spin. We're going with 3.5 top spin and half a bar of left spin, so pointing at the rough line up ahead as shown. Then I'm switching to my apocalypse. Adjust max +0 on this one. No pushing up or anything needed depending on your apocalypse level, because it's the same. That's the reason for doing a quarterback club swap. Second shot going to be played with the grizzly, so apoc and grizzly bag needed once you've found your position. Max +0 and just a plain ball, perfect shot, no overpower needed. Just get it down there and it will set up a nice minimum distance shot with the grizzly. Drive distance here going to be around 320 yards. So find the min line with your grizzly, ball guide through the hole, then we're going to add spin as needed. Might vary depending on your drive, but you can see the amount I'm using here in the video, looking around the 2.7 backspin mark, no side spin, and you want the ball guide going through the hole. Here you can see they're just going through the hole by about 1 cup. Then the adjustment is min +20. Like I said, slightly shorter or slightly longer drives will need you to tweak the backspin amount, but get that offset the same in terms of the amount of ball guide that's going through the hole at least, and always play from the min line. Min plus 20, power 3, making our adjustment, and even in this awkward wind angle, these shots here should give you a very good chance at the eagle. Perfect ball away, and you'll see it bounces on the fairway and then gets onto the green, and we're dropping it very nicely there. If you're enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to support it by making a small donation, you can do so in one of three ways. You can click the thanks button beneath the video, you can use the PayPal link in the video description down below, or finally you can become a channel member as well. All support of the channel is gratefully received. Here we're going to turn the camera around and face the tees to begin with, just to find our position. Red ring touching the bunker and the rough at the same time. So you want the red ring touching those two contact points there. Then we're going to spin the camera around to look at the green and add spin. It's around 3.3 top spin and 1.2 side spin to the right, but it may vary. Just make sure though that it's spin to the ball guide as required. So you can see here ball guide pointing at the pin, but is stopping a little bit short because there is an element of tailwind here. So the clicks of it may vary depending if you found a slightly different position, but those accurate placements, that should get you at the right point. Mid plus 5, power 4 settings. Okay, mid plus 5, power 4, using sniper 10 numbers, might need a wind angle tweak or two, and as always, try and keep that wind below 8 miles per hour if you are in tournament play in expert. Catching the rough very nicely in the middle and going right at the pin for the hole in one. We're going to have to play left side in this very nasty wind angle on this par 4. Start with the quarterback, white ring touching the rough on the right at the top of plus 10. Then you switch to your APOC and sniper bag with the grizzly packed because you need to find min line. 5 top spin, 3 left spin. Then we adjust max plus 10, power 3 settings. This is quite a narrow line on the drive here. If you are worried about hitting a great ball either side, then you can of course tweak the setup just to safeguard against that, but a perfect ball here should be absolutely fine. 0.8 ball curl to the left just before the circle drops as your overpower reference, and hit perfect. And this is going to bounce very nicely in the middle of the fairway. We are skirting past the rough, no great danger there from a great right at least, and it parks up beautifully around this point, 333 yards. Second shot, find min line on your sniper, then quickly turn the camera around to face where your ball is. Push up 10 rings from min. That will be my suggestion. 10 rings from min. The reason I do that is because if you play from the min line, there is a nasty glitch spot. Then we add spin, top spin as required. In my case, it's only a couple of clicks, and you want your ball guide here going just through the hole by about half a green square. So you might need to tweak your aim a little bit depending on your push-up, but 10 rings from min would be my suggestion here. 5% elevation, and 10 rings from min plays at 27% slider. If you do encounter a glitchy point or you hit a great left or great right on the drive, you might need to tweak it, but this is the ideal scenario on this one. Very nasty wind angle here, but here playing 10 rings from min with top spin as required to replicate that ball guide is going to have, in my opinion, a very decent chance. Here I only just made it to the pin though, so I would recommend you go with that ball guide just a little bit further through the hole. You don't want to be coming in short in line. Here we're going to play with the rock on this par 5. Blue ring is my initial setup point, touching the rough line. P3 max with the rock level 8, and it's plus 15 with the rock level 9. Then we're going 4.1 top spin, 3 left spin, adjustment max plus 0. Max plus 0. Very important not to have any 1159 here because that will put you too close to the rough. So make sure you're not having any unintentional 1159. Max plus 0, and we're going with 2 balls curl to the left just before the power circle drops. Don't go with too much overpower here. You will end up in the rough directly, so make sure you've got the references correct on this one. That curl to the left is bringing us very nicely down the fairway and approaching the shadows once again. Drive distance is going to be around 360 yards. Second shot, adding spin first, 3 back spin, 3 right spin, and you want to set up with the ball guide pointing towards the hole, but it will be stopping short because the wind push is going to do the rest. Okay, so you might need to tweak once you've added your spin. Just zoom in a couple of times, check your alignment. Here you can see it's about just over 1 green square diagonally short of the cup. Then we make our adjustment based on landing position plus yards. +7 is going to be 88% on the slider, 10% elevation. That would be, of course, +9 if you were using sniper level 9. So 10% elevation here, 88% slider in my example here for a +7 landing position, just over 9 rings. And we're going to take our shot here. Very nice wind angle to approach the pin, really. With the spin, you're aligning it with the wind. Very good chance of a drop. Perfect ball away. Bounces on the fairway. Second bounce just before the green, and we're dropping this one for the Albie. Now, nice wind angle here on this par 4. We're going to play with 4.2 top spin and 3 left spin. No move target once again, so get your correct club and ball loaded when you open the hole. Max +10, power 3. And then we're going to take our shot. A very simple setup here. We're going to go with some curl to the left, 0.8 ball, so look at the inside edge of the Kingmaker, touching the inside wall of the adjustment ring, just before the power circle drops once again, and hit perfect. A nice simple setup here, subject of course to any wind angle tweaks. Once on the fairway, second time on the pad, just clearing the rough. You could go with a click more topspin if you're worried about that, but we make it nicely onto the green. This is a tough position to find, so we're going to add spin first, 2 bars of right spin only, then try and get a ring reference touching the wood, but it didn't give me in the right point, so you want to just move away from that slightly and then look at the ball guide. I'll give you a zoom in here, pause the video, make some notes here, but this ball guide reference is where you want to be. You can just see it pointing at that intersection between the 4 green squares there, deliberately high of the pin, slightly to the left. So pause the video, count the number of green squares from a good reference point depending what you want to work from here, and then we're going to adjust max +10 power 3. Max +10 power 3. Higher wind might take you slightly into overpower with Grizzly 7 and 8. Not tested that with that club level, so just be advised on that one. You might need a little smidge of OP. Not quite sure if it would adjust into that though with a high wind, but it falls nicely for the hole in 1. On the drive here we're going to play max +20. We're going to add spin, 5.8 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the left, and finding our position once again with the bullseye directly over the rough line at the top of +10 with APOC 5 and above. APOC 4 is going to be at P3 max distance, so ensure you are at the right position for your club level, and it's that first point where the ball guide gets clipped away. Max +20, power 3 settings here. Then the reason I'm going with this setup rather than pushing up afterwards is it's nice and simple. You don't need to waste time pushing up at all. You just make your adjustment and then go with full overpower, and it is going to give you a slower needle. Even with APOC 4, going to be nice and slow. 1.5 ball curl to the left, so look at that ball trail touching the tip of the triangle. Hit perfect, of course, and this will roll us very nicely down the next piece of fairway. Bounces in the middle towards the end of the first one, not threatening the rough at all, which is what we like, and we get a great length on this drive. Going to be in the region of 400 yards. We're going to play landing position plus yards with our thorn here, adding 3 bars of backspin, finding our position. Because there's a little bit of a crosswind element here, I'm going to offset this one a little bit to the right of the pin. Okay, so we're adding spin first. You could see there it was just offset a smidgen to the right of the pin, just a tiny amount. +4, we're going to play 96% slider, 20% elevation, pulling over the bullseye, not pulling ourselves off the platform there, which is good here. That's why we're using this setup, and I'm wanting to push myself there with this drive distance to be in plus yards with the thorn. Might need to tweak the backspin depending on your drive distance, but going in very nicely for the Albie. Don't forget the Far East 9-hole cup next week. Nice mix of par 4s across the courses set over in the Far East. There will be a pro and expert general playthrough to get yourself reacquainted with the holes, but also if you're playing in expert, then there will be qualifying round and final round guides up on Thursday and Saturday morning respectively. So make sure you check back and enjoy the free content for the Far East 9-hole cup. Now here you don't have to play with this ball, it is an old one. You can set spins with a navigator and then switch to your Kingmaker if you want to. It's 4 top spin and 1 left spin. The reason I'm using this one is because it gives me the exact amount of side spin. So setup as shown there, yellow ring touching the rough, and then you can see the ball guide going to the hole. And then we're going to adjust mid -5 power 3 settings. So make sure you get -5 elevation here rather than plus. Mid -5. As always, try and keep the wind below 8. Not tested this one in anything higher, but I don't think you'd have too much difficulty really. But as always, take a token or two first. Get yourself some wind angle tweaks built in as well. Perfect ball away, catches the rough beautifully, and we're dropping this one right at the pin for the hole-in-one. On the drive here, we're starting with the quarterback, red ring touching the rough on the right, just before the plus yards begin. Okay, so a couple of references there. Then we're switching to the rock because I don't want to adjust into max club. 3.5 top spin, 3 bars right spin, and then it's a simple 1-to-1 adjustment. So 7.8 in wind is going to mean I'm going to adjust 7.8 rings. Reason that I'm switching to the rock, like I said, don't want to be pulling into max club with the QB. And you can see this adjustment here with mid-wind only takes me to +1. So rock level 7 will be fine as well. 0.8 ball curl to the right. And here it's just where the power circle drops. So it's not that click before. I actually find the point, the first click where the circle drops. So I am going with a smidgen more overpower than usual, just to get a couple more yards out of this one. So make sure you get those references correct. Drive distance is going to be around 305 yards. Bunker check once again here, BC on the notepad, bullseye over the front lip of the bunker in line with the pin. +7 is going to be mid-distance, 10% elevation here. And you'll see I've got the ball guide through the hole. +7 with sniper 10 is of course equal to +9 with the sniper level 9, and it's a very straightforward setup. It's a no spin shot, so I haven't even got to worry about adding spin on this one. So mid +10 for +7, of course that is equal to 1-on-1 as well with this bunker check. But always check your club distance yourself. Perfect ball away, bouncing nicely on the fairway here, and we're getting this one right at the pin. 2 options here. We're going to look at an aggressive option first, Apox 6+ and a luminary, or the precision luminary which I've got here, which was recently on sale. Bullseye over the rough at the top of +24 yards, I believe. Just when I nudge it back, crept into 25, but bullseye over the rough, top of +24, and we're going to adjust max +0, power 5. If you don't have Apox 6, you could give this a go with the extra mile 9. You would be at the top of +27 yards instead, though. It does take us into overpower. Regardless of that, we're going max OP. 3/4 ball curl to the left. Full overpower. Like I said, this precision luminary is very good here because it is a full shaky needle. But if you want to chance it with a normal luminary or equivalent, then you could do so. Nice perfect drive is going to leave you a normal end bringer 20% wedge, around 65 to 70% slider. Safe option though is 1-to-1. We're going to set up with the QB, and we're going with the white ring touching the rough on the left at P3 max, then switching to the rock and adding spin. 2 top spin, 1 left spin, and the adjustment is 1-to-1. Showing you this in max wind with the Kingmaker just to demonstrate that it is still going to be working with max wind strength. So 1-to-1 adjustment here, 9.1 in wind, 9.1 rings. Then we're going to take our shot, perfect ball that will bounce over very nicely. Now the second shot here I didn't drop, but I'm going to suggest that you tweak the aim based on the miss in the video. I feel my adjustment is very good. Just looking at the drive distance here though, bouncing comfortably over, and we're not wanting to roll too far here because we want to find the min line with the Grizzly, 315 yards. So second shot, find the minimum distance line with the ball guide through the hole, and then add your backspin. Going to be around 1.2 backspin. But like I said, we need to tweak the aim a little bit here, and this may be due to the fact that I had max wind. May be all right with mid-wind. You might want to take a token or two. You can see the ball guide just going to the front edge of the cup. However, small tweak needed. The adjustment for reference, which is something you can build from if you want to go with this route, is min plus 20 and it's power 4 settings. So make sure you change over to power 4 settings for your approach. So min plus 20, power 4. Of course, the aggressive option, if you've got the equipment for it and you're fancying it, is going to be the best chance, but a small tweak there will be a good opportunity as well. On to this par 3, going to play the rough bump once again, and we're going with 4 bars top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right, and we're setting up here as follows. You want the top left of the red ring touching the bunker. A little bit of the red ring will be out onto the fairway. Ball guide through the hole ever so slightly favouring the left hand side, but literally it's only 1 pixel away from dead centre, so build a tweak or two in if you like, and once again, if you can keep the wind below 8, it will increase your drop percentage. Max -5 power 2 settings. Max -5 power 2. Nicely centered ball there, no accidental curl, underpower or overpower, so take a moment or two to make sure you've got that replicated, and this is dead center drop for the hole in one. Here we're going to bounce on the middle of this fairway pad with 5.8 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right, and we're going to set up with the bullseye halfway across the center again from left to right, top of +5 with APOC 5 and above, top of +11 with APOC level 4. Okay, we don't want to set too far along here because the tailwind will push us towards the kind of second half of that fairway pad. Max +10 power 3 is the adjustment here. For me, that's going to be 6.6 rings. Don't worry about the ball guide disappearing because we're going to go with some curl to the right, 3/4 ball, and then just before the shot circle drops for our overpower reference. Hitting perfect, and you'll see this ball will bounce right in the center of the pad and along the next fairway over that little join that you can see there. Drive distance is going to be between 365 and 370. Once again, rings from min on this hole. Find the min line, push up rings from min. There's 5 and there is 10. I would recommend you push up at least 10. Here I go with 12 because I want the bottom of the white ring touching the rough. Ball guide there we can see is over the pin. We're going to then add spin, backspin as required, and it's going to be in the region of 3.2 backspin. Might vary depending on your drive. Here you can see I've got about 3.1. We are aiming just to the right edge of the cup, as you can see there. Ball guide splitting the right half of the cup, and slightly short to compensate for the wind angle. 12 rings from min in the example here was 15% slider, 15, and it's rings from min plus 15 elevation. So use the shot clock accordingly, make sure you don't time out, get that method sort it out, make sure you've got enough time to do all of the steps there. 15% slider, 15 elevation, falling beautifully for the eagle. Now, very nice wind angle here. We're going to do a layup though. I'm sure there might be an aggressive option though if you've got the power balls for it. With the rock, we're going to go with 3.5 top spin, 3 left spin, white ring touching the rough on the left at P3 max with rock level 8, plus 15 with rock level 9 because you've got 1 more yard of power. Max plus 20 is the adjustment here. Maximum distance, 20% elevation. Here I make 2 pulls over the bullseye, so I do 6.4 and then another 4 to get my 10.4 rings in here. And then we're going to take our shot. Playing with plenty of curl to the left, you'll see here going to be about 2 balls, so look at the spacing between the kingmaker and the triangle, or look down from the tee as well. Just before the circle drops for our overpower reference, perfect ball away, bounces nicely on the fairway and approaches the shadowy area here around 360 yards. Second shot with the sniper, going to add spin first, 3 back spin and 3 right spin. Then we find our position. We're going to use landing position plus yards, and we're going to find that position of course, and you'll see here the ball guide just pointing short of the pin by just over 2 green squares, slightly offset. So I've given you a good zoom in there. Pause the video. I like the landing position, I like the ball guide, I like the adjustment. However, what you will see if you watch closely is when I make my adjustment, the target just flicks to the side by 1 pixel, and unfortunately I think that causes a miss here. But of course, take a token or 2, tweak it. It is very, very close though. Plus 6 with sniper 10, playing at 85% slider, 15 elevation. Like I said, it just flicked over to the left hand side there, so maybe a click to the right, you'll be in. Thank you for watching this video on the Winter Major here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. For further help, you can check us out on Facebook as well. Go over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free Facebook group. Loads of members there, shot sharing, free guides and discussion points. Chance to interact with a load of people, including myself. Good luck everybody, see you soon, bye for now.